With all the talk of high home prices in the news, you feel the urge to just wait for the housing crash or that housing bubble to burst, but still, it just doesn't happen. And in this crazy housing market, or any housing market, there are always many ways to get good deals on homes out there. Now, whether you're a seasoned investor or a first-time home buyer, stick around to learn those ways that will lead you to the next property gem. Hey, I understand your frustration. Every home you look at, with the price and the amount of updating it needs, it just won't work with your budget. And I tell all my clients that I deal with, you just need to be patient, as patience pays off in the end. Now, first off, what is an off-market home? Well, these are properties that are not listed on the multiple listing service or MLS, or any other public real estate platform. The sellers may not want to deal with showings, or they are in bad financial position, or the home may need too much work for a retail buyer to purchase in the state that the home is in. Now, these are prime deals for you as a buyer, and usually you don't have the competition of others bidding against you. And also, if you make the deal clean and easy, that usually triggers the seller to even want to work with you more. Now, let's get to how you find these off-market deals. Now, for my 30 years of being in real estate, and I still continue to do the things I'll cover here today, I would also appreciate your comments below on what has worked for you to find these off-market deals out there as well, and I'd love to hear those comments. Now, one thing you should do is network with other real estate pros. Yes, that's right. Others in the real estate industry. Yes, these are great contacts. And if you're not familiar with how to run comps, understanding values of the areas, and how to compute rehab costs and so forth, then another real estate agent is a very good connection for you to have. Now, make sure that you select someone that truly knows the investing side, as a lot of agents may not have ever owned any rental property or flipped a property before, and they may not be as good of a resource again as somebody that has. Now, out here in the Denver area, I help others as a licensed agent, as I have and I still invest in the real estate industry, and I have a pretty good understanding of what it takes to find those deals and analyze those deals. Real estate investors are very good connections too, but you're probably thinking, aren't they direct competition? Absolutely not. And especially if you are new, you want to meet all the real estate investors you can, as some don't invest in certain areas, or they could wholesale you a deal down the road, or some will let you help them to further help you understand the business of investing in real estate. Now, another great way to meet other real estate pros, go to networking events or join a real estate group in your area, as you can get so many connections within these groups, from other real estate agents to other investors to hard money people. And usually these groups have all the resources you need, and you will learn many things, especially if you are new to real estate investing. Now, another effective way to find off-market deals is through the mail. Yes, believe it or not, direct mail campaigns still actually work in today's world. Now, the one thing that has worked well for me is a program called Every Door Direct through the United States Postal Service. And since I'm a licensed real estate agent as well, I will send these mailers to selected zip codes, and part of the advertising will say, I will buy homes as is, if they do not want to go on the open market. Now, I've tried many different styles, and I make all of my postcards through a site called canva.com. Now, you can obviously buy a lead list, and some of these companies will even do everything for you, but I want to warn you, they are fairly expensive, and a lot of them do not have very good results that I have seen. So do your homework if you're going to sign up with one of these companies. Now, another way to get a lead list is contact your local title company. Yes, they are a great resource as well, as they can pretty much pull a detailed list of, say, non-owner occupants of properties, which are usually rental properties and so forth. But either way, you can talk to them about the type of list you are wanting them to pull. But no matter where you get your data, I'm telling you, those direct mailers are still very, very effective. Now, the next way to find cheap properties, and I have made a living off of this is what I call driving for dollars. Yes, this is still a very effective option out there. Now, I'm always in my car most days and driving around neighborhoods, and I will look for those homes that look neglected or maybe even have a dumpster sitting out front. And yes, if you see a home with overgrown weeds or any deferred maintenance items like paint is bad or a trashy yard, go and knock on the door. And if nobody is home, leave a note in the door and also take down that address so you can mail marketing to them as well. Now, for sale by owners are also a great resource too. And if you see a for sale by owner sign, stop and go look at the home. And these are great opportunities, as most of these people want to avoid the showings, and also realtors too. And either way, driving for dollars will put you in direct contact with the homeowner. Now, real estate auctions and estate sales can be a gold mine for off-market deals. Real estate auctions definitely have properties at lower prices, but you do need to do your due diligence up front. I had an example here in the Denver area where I went to this auction once. These two guys bought this property close to an area where I live. And so after the auction, since they had a pretty good purchase price on this property, I drove to meet them. And when they opened that door, they were so shocked to see the home had fire damage and basically nothing inside except for the exterior walls. And their numbers, as I could tell, were way off, but they didn't even do any due diligence beforehand. And also, nobody was really bidding on that property at that auction. So again, do your due diligence ahead of time if you're going to buy a property at an auction. Now, estate sales is another good way to get these deals. And usually the people in charge of these estates, they're selling off personal items to collect money for expenses of that estate. The homes at these estate sales usually need lots of work, and the people that have lived in these homes have lived there all their lives, and basically they have done minor updates or maybe no updating at all through all the years of home ownership. Now, the family usually will end up selling this home as is, but I can say when there is more than one sibling making decisions on these, it can take some time to get them all to agree, but stick with it, as these end up being the best ones I have found yet. Now, this next way I'm about to talk about for off-market deals is very competitive. I can say I very seldom do this anymore, but there are many that still do. Now, this is chasing what I call the public records list. Yes, things like pre-foreclosures, divorce filings, and landlord evictions are all public records and other ways to find these diamonds in the rough. But again, you will be competing with many others on this, as anyone has quick access to this information. Now, one very good public record I like to deal with are the probate lists. Now, if you go this route, I want to warn you on the sensitivity of these deals, as usually a family is dealing with the death of a loved one. And when I deal with these as a licensed agent here in Denver, I like to work with these families for getting them the best results, whether it's putting it out there on the open market or just buying it as a quick cash deal. But most of the time, these homes are in need of some major renovation, and usually they are sold off market. And if you have the ability to deal with fixing them, they are the best deals out there. So once you find that off-market property, do you know if it's a good deal or not? Do you know the real current value? the repaired value, and the potential cost to get the property value needed and still have enough to make a profit? If unsure, that again is where the help of a real estate agent that does real estate investing can be a big help to you. Now, finding off-market properties takes time and countless efforts, but the rewards are well worth it. So stick to the strategies discussed and don't give up, as it takes time and persistence. And if you do have further questions on off-market properties or anything real estate related, my contact info is listed down below.